I'm Beth. Standing here, watching the eco-friendly LED lights spell out Hawthorne Innovation Tower against the darkening Manhattan sky, I can't help but think back to how it all started. The crowd below is a mix of tech executives, sustainability investors, and there, in the midst of it all, are my sister Lily, Mom, and Dad. Just a short while ago, I was in the penthouse conference room, about to change everything. The board chairman stood up and said, "We're ready for the unveiling of the Hawthorne Innovation Tower." Lily's eyes went wide, and she whispered, "The what?" Mom's coffee cup clattered against the saucer, and Dad's face went from confusion to disbelief. Let me rewind a bit. I come from a family that values appearances above all else. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hawthorne, are high society folks in Manhattan. Dad is a traditional businessman who loves to brag about his connections and the luxury buildings he's associated with. Mom is all about maintaining a proper image, always dressed in the finest designer clothes. My sister Lily is just like them, always decked out in the latest fashion, looking down on anyone who doesn't fit the mold. I, on the other hand, have always been different. I'm passionate about sustainable development in real estate. I've spent years working out of a small home office, developing innovative technologies that can transform buildings into sustainable, zero-carbon residences. I remember the day I met Lily outside the Hawthorne, Manhattan's newest luxury high-rise. She sneered at my worn laptop bag and simple blazer. "You can't seriously be planning to use the main entrance. This is the Hawthorne. There are standards," she said, adjusting her Gucci scarf. She pointed to the back and said, "The service entrance is around there, where the cleaning staff go in." I quietly told her, "I have a meeting here," while checking my watch. There were only 10 minutes until the board presentation that would change my life. Lily laughed and said, "A meeting? You? Another one of your innovative proposals that no one wants to fund. Face it, Beth. You're not cut out for real estate development." 5 years ago, those words would have broken my heart. But now, I just smiled. I said, "Actually, I'm here to see Miss Hawthorne." Just then, a doorman rushed forward with wide eyes and said, "We've been expecting you." The board is assembled in the penthouse conference room. Lily's perfectly plucked eyebrows shot up. There must be some mistake. My sister's a small-time contractor. She doesn't. The doorman checked his tablet and confirmed, "Beth Hawthorne, founder and CEO of Hawthorne Sustainable Development. The board has been eagerly awaiting your presentation." Lily's voice rose an octave, "But you work out of a home office." I gently corrected her, "A home office that just closed a $2 billion development deal. Would you like to join us for the announcement? Mom and Dad are already upstairs." The doorman opened the gleaming glass doors, revealing a marble lobby larger than my first apartment. Lily stood frozen as residents stared at us, or rather, at me. I said, "My clothes are chosen for comfort during 18-hour workdays. Designer labels don't impress sustainable energy investors." When we entered the penthouse conference room, Mom and Dad were sitting near the back, looking very confused. The chairman continued, "For those who haven't heard, Ms. Hawthorne's company has acquired controlling interest in the Hawthorne along with 6 other premium properties in Manhattan." Mom's hands started to shake, and Dad's face turned pale. He realized that his daughter, the one he always thought was impractical, now owned the building he'd been bragging about for years. I stepped to the front of the room and pulled up the holographic display. It showed my vision for transforming the Hawthorne into the city's first zero-carbon luxury residence. I clicked to the next slide, revealing solar glass, vertical gardens, and a revolutionary energy system that would make the building self-sufficient. Lily protested, "But Beth doesn't even own property." The chairman replied, "Beth Hawthorne owns more premium real estate than anyone else in Manhattan. She's been quietly acquiring buildings for years while developing her sustainable technology." I then said, "Now, shall we discuss the new residence requirements? I believe sustainable living commitments will be part of all new lease agreements." The board members nodded enthusiastically as they could see the projected value increases my innovations would bring. The presentation screen lit up with my company's latest acquisition figures. We had 7 luxury buildings in Manhattan, 3 in Chicago, and development rights for sustainable high-rises in 12 major cities. I said, as you can see, Hawthorne's sustainable development isn't just changing one building. We're transforming the entire concept of luxury living. The chairman added, the returns on MS. Hawthorne's previous projects have averaged 300% above market rate. The waiting list for units in her Chicago development is 3 years long. Mom reached for her water, her hands trembling. But you work from home, she said. I corrected her, from my smart home development lab, where we perfected the technology that's about to make the Hawthorne obsolete. I then told the residents, your rent will be adjusted accordingly. Current residents will have first right of refusal on the new leases, assuming they meet our sustainability requirements. Lily's voice cracked, rent? But we're founding residents. We have rights. I gently said, you have leases, which are now held by my company. The same company you said would never succeed because I refused to dress the part of a real estate developer. The chairman pulled up more figures and said, Miss Hawthorne's unorthodox approach has proven remarkably effective. While others focused on appearance, she focused on innovation. The results speak for themselves. The screen filled with headlines from financial papers. Hawthorne's sustainable development revolutionizes luxury market, billion-dollar empire built on green technology, Beth Hawthorne, the future of urban living. Dad protested, but you drive a hybrid. I nodded and said, an electric vehicle I helped design. It's being released next quarter, and the waiting list is already 6 months long. Lily stared at her designer handbag, probably calculating how many lease payments it could cover under the new rates. I continued, the building's sustainable requirements will include mandatory participation in our renewable energy program, commitment to zero waste practices, and support of our vertical farming initiative. Someone from the back called out, and if we don't agree? The chairman replied, then you'll miss out on the most significant property value increase in Manhattan's history. MS. Hawthorne's previous buildings have appreciated 500% within 2 years of renovation. Mom's perfectly maintained composure finally cracked as she watched the board members eagerly sign off on my plans. Her daughter, the one she'd criticized for not maintaining a professional image, was about to become her landlord. I announced, the Hawthorne Innovation Tower will be completed in 18 months. Though the name change happens tonight, I believe you can see the installation crew arriving now. Everyone turned to the window to watch the workers prepare to mount the enormous letters across the building's facade. Lily whispered, but what about our status? I said, the Hawthorne is known for being outdated. The Hawthorne Innovation Tower will set new standards for what luxury means in the modern age. Your status will come from being part of the future, not clinging to the past. The chairman stood and addressed the room. The future of luxury real estate isn't about exclusivity. It's about sustainability. MS. Hawthorne understood this years ago, while the rest of us were focused on marble lobbies and designer labels. Dad looked down at his expensive leather shoes, probably remembering all the times he'd criticized my practical footwear. I said, all those meetings you said I couldn't attend because I was working? They were board meetings with investors who cared more about my ideas than my outfit choices. The screen showed one final figure, my company's current market valuation. Lily's designer scarf slipped from her shoulders as she saw the number. I checked my watch and said, now, shall we head downstairs? I believe the new signage is ready for unveiling. As the sun set over Manhattan, my name blazed to life across the building's facade in eco-friendly LED lights. The Hawthorne Innovation Tower glowed against the darkening sky, visible from Central Park to the financial district. Lily stood in the crowd below, her designer outfit lost among the tech executives and sustainability investors. Mom and Dad lingered near the back, watching their unconventional daughter command the attention of New York's elite. My assistant announced to the eager crowd, the first units will be available next spring. Priority will be given to residents committed to our zero-carbon lifestyle program. Lily asked, and current residents? I replied, scanning the property valuations on my tablet, will need to reapply. Though I hear there's a lovely building on 5th Avenue that still prioritizes designer labels over sustainable living. The crowd chuckled. Mom stepped forward with a small voice, all those times we criticized your choices. I finished her sentence, taught me valuable lessons. Like how true luxury isn't about appearance, it's about impact. As cameras flashed and reporters gathered, I caught Lily eyeing the service entrance she tried to send me through earlier. I smiled and said, don't worry. That door is being replaced with a renewable energy monitoring station. All entrances will be equal in the sustainable future.